Future Talk.
This is Future Talk
with Omnial Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Happy Wednesday. Happy second favorite day of the week after or before Thursday, because it is the one day where you're getting excited because it's almost the weekend. Hope you're all having a blessed afternoon and excited to find out the latest on what is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. We've got a very packed show for them today, don't we?
Yes, indeed. And we're talking about our good friend, the richest man in the world, Mr. Jeffrey Bezos. Now, Now, if you know the song, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Man, I love that song. But, he's in for, I think he's a little bit over his head, to be honest.
Angry.
Because he has filed a lawsuit against NASA over moon landing contract. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people are against him, not because he's on a lawsuit with NASA, but because his rockets suck. Really?
I know they are. They've been getting really bad PR lately.
They suck.
But what's interesting about it is that he's actually very angry that the slice of the cake that he was eyeing was basically going for someone else, or is going for someone else.
Hey, you want a tip? Who it's for?
Let us know.
His name starts with Elon Musk.
Your favorite person.
Right? And I'm really excited to talk about that one. A lot of people have been, against Jeff Bezos because of that. And, they're saying you shouldn't be really mad because your rockets aren't that great, Mr. Jeffrey.
But in other news, we're also going to be talking about Google, and they're offering a lot of generosity this year because they're going to be giving out career certificates and scholarships for all those who are seeking jobs in the Mena region. What are they, and how can you get yourself one? We're going to be giving you all those details in just a few moments.
Yes, and for our apps all around the world segment, we're talking about YouTube and how it will show video chapters right in their search results. So, you know how sometimes you'll see like segmentation, intro, conclusion.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it saves me a lot of time, especially when I'm watching drama MMA accounts and they're saying person A says something about person B.
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes. And I'm like, I just want to know the part where he says he's better than them. Right? Why do I have to look at, all that other stuff?
I always like Top of the Hours with you because you link them to the weirdest topics sometimes.
I mean, it's because it's actuality. We don't talk about things that do not apply to our real world situations.
It's everything real life.
Yeah.
But speaking of real life and paying your bills, we constantly use our credit cards. And now Mastercard have actually decided to put an end to a chapter that's been alive for quite some time. They're ending magnetic strips on cards. What does that mean? And what is the future of credit cards?
Yes, I mean, we do know that they love that chip, like a SIM card on the card.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, I do believe, Omnia, also, there's a story I want to tell you that maybe we'll give them tomorrow, a little sneak peek on how to use the new future use of an ATM.
Ooh,
right?
I like that one.
I love it too, because I always forget things. But we're also going to be talking about, would you let a robot lawyer defend you? Now, we're talking about the app Do Not Pay and how it's described as the world's first robot lawyer. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a lawsuit, or maybe Jeffrey Bezos could use this lawyer, attacking NASA, and by the way, he's actually filed a lawsuit before against the Pentagon. Do you know what the Pentagon is? It is the most secure facility in the world.
I have nothing to say, honestly. I don't know what he's thinking with those lawsuits, but
you know what they say, money talks.
Let us know, which story are you most excited about. Our text lines are open for 215 do it slot or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
3, 2, 1, fight! Ladies and gentlemen.
That was loud.
Yeah, they are fighting today, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the battle of the billionaires. We're talking about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
They should use that title.
The battle of the billionaires. Yeah, man. I wish I was a billionaire so I can battle them too. But, we just told you guys that Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, which is like their space type of rockets that they want to send.
Honestly, it's like a space empire.
Yeah, I mean, they're going crazy with it. And, he's actually filed a lawsuit against NASA. For those who don't know, NASA is a government entity for the United States of America. And, NASA is the first, entity.
It's the only non-commercial,
Yeah.
non-tourism-centric space travel industry.
Yeah, and they're the first people to go on the moon.
True.
Right? And, they're fighting because of a moon landing contract. Now, we do know that Elon Musk does own SpaceX, and they were actually awarded a $2.9 billion contract to develop the human landing system in April. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what is Jeff Bezos mad about? Well, that contract was supposed to be for him.
Yes, indeed. And that's exactly what made his blood boil, because he wanted it, and he was very annoyed that basically his competitor was able to secure that contract. Now, this lawsuit does come weeks after the U.S. Government Accountability Office rejected Blue Origin's protest of NASA's decision to basically award this contract to Elon Musk and to his private company, SpaceX. His lawsuit is basically an attempt to remedy all the flaws in the acquisition process that's found in NASA's human landing system. That's according to the one and only Jeff Bezos. He believes that there are a lot of issues that have to be identified, and that there needs to be some form of standard of fairness. They need to create healthy competition and ensure a safe return to the moon for America. And he believes that only Blue Origin is capable of doing that. Although, taking after all the headlines that Blue Origin has been doing, I don't think they're the safest option for us to be landing on the moon with.
Yes, I mean, a lot of people, on various social media platforms, they were saying, anyways, his rockets suck.
True.
And, they weren't actually up to date, so you shouldn't actually be so upset about it. Now, for your information, the U.S. does plan to return to the moon by 2024 under the Artemis program. And it does aim to use the experience and lessons that were learned during the process to prepare, obviously, for a full-fledged crewed mission for Mars back in 2030. Now, last month, Mr. Bezos, it looks obvious that he was kind of desperate for this contract, and he wrote an open letter to NASA, and he said, hey, I'll give you a discount, of a small amount of $2 billion. Man. And, he gave that discount because he wants to allow his company to build a moon lander. And, Jeff Bezos has been very, adamant on saying that, hey, he wants to go to the moon. He wants to explore space tourism. But, looking at his picture right now in the article, the only thing I could, think about is when he got the news, right? He's bald, and, he has no facial hair. He has no facial hair. And, the human body, once it gets a little bit angry, a little bit tense, they start to turn red, right? So I'm just looking at this red tomato, billionaire red tomato, going crazy, saying, why? And
Why not me?
Why not me? Right? And, he's upset with Mr. Elon Musk, who is probably in South Africa. I don't know what he's doing in life, but I'm 100% sure he's more comfortable than Mr. Jeff Bezos.
I definitely agree with you on that one. I think what made him very angry is he felt like he gave them such a good price that, why would you leave it? Why would you go and pay Elon Musk $9 million more just to be able to secure a contract when he was giving them, or just wanting $2 billion? Now, he also did say that in comparison with all the different companies, the tourism companies, space tourism companies that went ahead and proposed to get this opportunity, SpaceX had the lowest price proposal, and they had the highest ratings, according to him once again. So he was actually pretty annoyed that he was not chosen. NASA also, according to him, concluded that the agency lacked the necessary funding to make more than one award. So he's trying to kind of move all the fingers that are placed on him and his company away.
Now, you know what they say, there is no price on peace of mind. So obviously NASA, they do want a peace of mind. They don't want Mr. Jeff Bezos, messing things up, especially because, a lot of people are saying that Blue Origin's rockets aren't as reliable as the others in the market. Now, just last year, NASA did award $579 million to Blue Origin in a contract. And, so they have been doing business in the past, and SpaceX actually was awarded a $253 million and $135 million contract as well for a couple of other things. So, it's the battle of the billionaires. Again, so far, Mr. Jeff Bezos has lost the battle, but he hasn't lost the war. The war still goes on. We're going to see what Mr. Bezos has in mind for Elon Musk and for NASA. What I do suspect is that, he's going to say, hey, we're not delivering to the headquarters of NASA anymore. Amazon's not delivering there anymore. But again, I genuinely think that NASA made the right choice, and obviously, I would be a little bit upset too if I was promised things. I'm not going to put all the, criticism on Mr.
How
Jeffrey.
nice of you.
Right? I'd be upset if I kind of, there was an open contract. We were talking, I'm excited about
price,
it.
yeah.
I'm happy about it. My team is getting ready to go for it. Right? It's like when you were a child and
You were promised a trip to the candy store, and then it was taken away.
You were getting ready to go out with your family and everything, and then, your dad gets in a bad mood. He's like, no, we're not going out anymore. And then, you're all dressed up and you're ready. You combed your hair and you look in the mirror and you cry.
combed your hair.
You cry when you take off your clothes and you look at yourself in the mirror and the tears are rolling down.
Is this a real life story?
No, I'm just saying. I'm 100% sure everyone in the world
100%.
has went through this. Right? So, imagine that kid, Mr. Jeffrey Bezos, but instead it's not a kid, it's a middle-aged man with $100 and something billion in his bank account.
Let us know, are you sympathetic of what Jeff Bezos is going through, or do you support Elon Musk, and do you support NASA's decision to give that contract to Elon Musk? Our text lines are open, 4215, do it to Salat, or slide into our DMs at Pulse95 Radio. Coming up on Future Talk, we're talking all about Google being a little bit generous and offering us some certificates and scholarships that will help a lot of job seekers right here in the Mena region.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. Today's topic is about Google because they have announced that they're going to be offering career certificates and scholarships for all those who are seeking jobs in the MENA region. Time after time, I feel like we've been talking about Google and all of their programs that they have launched, whether it was in coding languages, programming, even advancing your own skill set in marketing, digital marketing, you name it. They've always been offering free content, free courses for you to be able to advance yourself. And then you receive certificates from them that have helped many people actually get some of the best jobs in the MENA region. And this is just going to be yet another thing that they're doing. They're sponsoring over 7,000 scholarships for Google career certificates in the Middle East and North Africa.
Yes. Now, again, we look at Google, how they're trying as much as possible to give back to the community and to give back to students. Now, we do know when I talk about the job market, I'm not very familiar how it's like in the MENA region, but I'll talk to you guys from an aspect of, in the United States and North America. Now, in North America, right, jobs are very hard to come by. An office job is very hard to come by. And, most of the youth, they work retail, they work in malls, they work in shops. And, they're
try and get that experience.
Yeah, they're qualified. But the thing is, people in America or companies in America, they ask for things that are kind of over the top sometimes, right? And, as someone, a fresh graduate, they wouldn't get it that easily it's pretty pricey to get degrees, to get, these certificates. But right here in the MENA region, Google is trying its best to keep us well-equipped and keep students well-equipped with 4 online certificates. Now, these actually do aim to support job readiness for people without actually prior experience in fields such as IT support, project management, to UX design, and even data analytics. Now, we do know that the scholarships are being distributed with the help of local organizations, including the Egyptian Banking Institution, as well as the University Center for Career Development in Egypt and Ahmed East in Lebanon. And, there's a couple of more in the region. And when we're talking about right here in Dubai, the UAE, in Dubai is going to be the Dubai International Financial Center, or as we know it, DIFC. And believe it or not, the Higher College of Technology right here in the UAE, which was well known as Taqniya.
Yes.
Right? So we're having, there's one in, I think there's one in every emirate besides, I think there's one in every emirate.
Yep, there is. And that's going to be amazing for all those students who are looking to enter the job market. But, it's very hard for them because every time you want to apply for a job, they always ask you, what are your years of experience? And if you don't have any, you have nothing to show. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you to be able to learn a few skills that may just help you land your dream job. Now, the Google Career Certificates are also available to all interested learners, so you may not necessarily be applying for a job just yet, still in university. You can still take the chance and complete all the low-cost, self-paced programs. There are different programs offered on Coursera, which is an official certificate that's going to be recognized by any employer that you apply to. There's also different IT support certificates that are available in Arabic as well. And this is going to help a lot of people kind of get ready for the future of jobs. Google is currently introducing 5 additional applied digital skill courses. We've always heard about the program Maharat min Google. A lot of universities actually encourage students to be a part of it. I know the American University of Sharjah, the University of Sharjah, they all encourage students to apply for it. And they're actually going to be applying even more skills to help all their participants, all the students, start their resume. They're launching new projects such as use Google to get a new job and manage a project with digital tools very soon this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, when we're looking at, the job market in general, and, unfortunately, but thankfully, right? Jobs nowadays, they don't kind of constrict you only to an office desk. A lot of people that I know personally, right? Graphic designers, video editors, people in programming. I believe my cousin hasn't went to work in like 2 years, right?
Honestly, I feel like that's the dream job.
Ever since, the pandemic, he's been assigned to work from home. He's a programmer. And I'm like, bro, don't you get bored? He's like, it's basically the same thing. I just, don't go to work anymore. I do it from my home. And if, there's an office job, there's a meeting, they'll do it off Zoom. Now, the point I'm trying to get across right here is that a lot of people are now freelancing. And, when you have so many certificates, it's not just, hey, I have a certificate, but it's also experience being added to your personal resume and the more skills that you have developed to, give and say, hey, I can do XYZ.
True.
Would you like to use my services? So I believe Google giving back and, is a great thing. And not only that, now, obviously, Google is giving this course to you. So let's say you do great, you're excelling. Google might say, hey, you actually might have potential here, kid. Why don't you work for Google?
We actually hosted a guest. I'm trying to remember her name.
Yeah.
What was her name? I think Zain Al-Masri,
Yes.
who actually started out applying to all these different programs, and later on, a couple of years down the line, she landed her own job at Google. So
Yeah.
no dream is too big.
Yeah, I mean, well, which company wouldn't want you that you actually took courses from them? Because again, it's kind of like saying, hey,
I know your market.
I know what you're doing, and I've taught you how to do it. So why not? I mean, it's a great initiative, right? And again, Google has done this time and time again. It's not the first time we've seen it being done. So I think Google has a very, very great, kind of, approach to this. Correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on it. I want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do it slots, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Would you like to work for Google, or would you like to get these career certificates? Our text lines are open. We're taking a short break, but when we come back, we got a lot in store for you guys.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Is this thing on? Hello? Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on Pulse 95. No, I'm joking. But you know what's not joking? Mastercard, because, they want to end things for some reason. Hopefully they'll end debt worldwide and everyone can live a happy life. But, they want to end the magnetic strip on credit cards or debit cards. Now, Mastercard is to stop issuing cards with a magnetic strip. Now, we always know the swipe, swipe it, swipe it, swipe it. That was actually the slogan back in the 90s and 80s to get people to buy stuff, right? But, by 2033...
Now I feel like it's just tap.
Yeah, just tap to
Tap
pay.
it everywhere.
Tap to pay. Tap your bank account away. But, by 2033, none of its debit cards or even credit cards will have a strip. And, many banks in many regions, including Europe, will be able to issue the stripless cards from 2024.
That is so soon.
It's better. I don't remember the time I swiped anyways, or even stuck my credit card or debit card into a
Inside
machine.
the machine,
Just
yeah.
pay. Boss Apple Pay. Boss Pay. Everywhere, man. Apple Pay.
I love it though, because it makes things so much easier and so much faster.
Yeah, and I think I have Monopoly money. Right? I was thinking about that the other day, Omnia.
What were you thinking
Right?
about?
I really, if anyone is like an economical scientist or something,
Okay.
right? Please, or in the banking sector,
Yeah.
please do DM us or DM me personally, because I stayed up all night in my brain thinking about this.
What?
Right? So I don't take out cash.
Same.
Right? All my money is in the bank, right? So is this money digital? Right? Is it digital money? Right? It's
Or is it physical money?
Is it physical? Right? Because I don't take out cash. So is this just a number in my bank account? Like, where's the physicality of the money?
I personally feel like it's physical, because if you come to get it out,
you can get it out.
Yeah,
but
yeah, true.
But like it's there.
That is
but,
such a deep question.
But like, for example, Omnia, right?
Yeah.
You have an item that I want to buy.
Yeah.
Right? And I say, hey, I'll wire you 100,000 dirhams. And I wire it to you. It's in your bank account.
Is it
physically being transferred, or is it going through a wire? Right? Which is electronically or digitally?
I think electronically, because let's say an ATM machine runs out of cash, you can't get your amount from the machine.
Yeah, I understand that point. What I'm trying to understand is that how are transactions being done in nowadays, right? Like, when's the last time you used money? Like cash.
Some places still
I don't use cash. I use all my Apple Pay or credit card or whatever.
True.
So how is that being done, right? So when does the bank say, hey, we need to produce more money?
More digital
physical money, physical money, right? Like, where's my money? It's in the bank, but it's like, but I don't know, man. I spent all night thinking about it, and every time I would Google search it, it was like, you can just go to the bank and take. I know I can take out my money from the bank. It's there, but is it actually
how is it
there?
stored? Yeah, how is it stored?
Right? Because we all get our salaries. It's all going directly to our bank accounts.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, let's say, for example, you have a bank with Sharjah Islamic Bank.
Yeah.
And your other bank is, let's say, SBC. Does someone go over to the bank and said, hey, give me the money for Hani's salary? We need to go. Does that actually it doesn't happen.
Of course not.
Exactly. So how is it actually, it's not physical money, it's digital money.
Everything is digital.
So why can't they just add an extra couple of zeros? Because they're not losing
because
anything.
if someone decides to get that money out in cash,
so why do people rob banks? It's things that I ask myself at night before I go to sleep.
I think you need the sleeping pill and to just sleep.
No. I mean, it's a true question.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Maybe that's why I failed the counting. But ladies and gentlemen, I need to know you. You guys need to message us and let me know, because I'm probably going to think about this tonight again.
Again?
Right.
Especially because we just talked about it, and we talked about magnetic strips going.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is mind-blowing. But
Right?
I honestly feel like it's kind of simple, but when you think about it a bit too deep, it gets your mind like...
Right? Because, governments print money.
Yeah, they print money.
Right? But what if we don't use that money?
And that's actually what's going to be happening. Soon enough, you're not going to find a digital current, like a physical currency.
Yeah, there's not going to be no more physical tender.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just going to be all digital. Let us know. But,
maybe that's why they said they're removing the strip, because we don't need it.
I think they're removing the strips because the strips have lived a very long life. They actually...
Chicken strips.
The magnetic strips began... Now you're making me hungry. They began their life back in the 1960s, and it was actually an IBM project to create identity cards for their CIA staff. And that's how it first started out. Someone named Forrest Perry, which is actually one of the engineers working at IBM, he had the idea of sticking all the information encoded on a strip of magnetic tape on that plastic card that we now call our debit card, our credit card. And that was how a lot of people decided to start paying with these cards. Now, in the pandemic, we've seen so many countries, including the UAE, kind of heavily depend on contactless payments. I will never forget, I remember once entering the grocery store, and for some reason I wanted to pay in cash, and they literally did not have any... Oh, I remember I wanted to pay in cash because I wanted change to give idea.
Yeah.
And they had absolutely no cash. They're like, ma'am, no one uses...
digitalizes idea now.
True. I was still in the old school times.
Right.
But no one had cash because they're like, in the UAE, ever since COVID started, a lot of people have started, just paying contactless with their cards because it's a lot safer, and no one pays with cash anymore. But I'm excited for a time where we don't even have cards altogether. We just pay using biometrics. We're looking at palm scanners and Amazon cashierless stores.
Yeah, which everyone didn't like because
no one
they're
liked.
stealing my identity.
Yep. But we have iris scanners. We have finger scanners. Why don't we think of that, stealing our identity? I think we just got used to it.
Because, the trusted sources use these iris scanners. Airports.
True.
Right?
But don't you pay sometimes your bill with your face?
No.
Biometrics.
I've never paid with my face.
Really?
Never.
That's weird. Sharjah Islamic Bank, when I come to pay, let's say my Siwa bill, I'll open the app.
Face ID?
Yeah, Face ID.
Face ID is being used through your Apple phone.
Yeah, but on the app.
They don't have the credentials. They don't have it. They don't take it.
No. I don't mean to pay with the card. Like I open my bank app
It's
and
Face
instead
ID
of
comes up, yeah.
entering my
Passcode.
PIN number, my card's PIN number,
Yeah.
I just pay.
It's being done, so it's stored here. Like even if I download any app, like I can do it for WhatsApp. Right?
Oh, I know that one. I get you.
So
Yeah.
it's being stored on the phone itself.
True. Yeah.
The phone itself gives that
Saves
acceptance.
it.
It says that hey, it's secure.
Interesting.
It's like the fingerprint. It's
Yeah.
not, they don't actually have it.
True.
It's the iPhone. 4215 do it slot or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. We're taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about
The question of the day.
would you let someone or a robot lawyer take care of your lawsuit? 4215 do it slot. Taking a short break, and we're gonna be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Today's question of the day. Would you let...
My honor, he is innocent. Would you please come to the stand?
You took the role immediately.
Did you or did you not steal the cookies from the cookie jar?
Oh, I always do. The question of the day is, just like you heard from Hani, or Robot Hani, would you let a robot lawyer defend you? I'm wondering, are they as good at lying as some lawyers are?
I don't. They probably are. They probably can because they have no emotions. So they're
true.
probably they can lie to your face and you wouldn't even know. Now, we're seeing how AI and artificial intelligence in general is, excelling in various ways. Just this week we were talking about AI being used in, detecting breast cancer in early stages. But now we're looking at it even being used in a courtroom.
Yep.
And, this actually could be your next lawyer, a robot. And, a lot of people are saying it does sound very far-fetched. And I personally don't think it's going to happen to any serious case. Probably like a parking fine or something, because you can actually, if a speeding ticket is issued, and I'm talking about America, and it's issued in the United States, right? You can say, hey, I don't, that's wrong. You can fight for it. Maybe you can have it.
By the way, even right here in the UAE, if you think that you were mistakenly given a parking ticket, you can provide the evidence, and you won't pay for it.
Yeah. Now, it does help, users draft legal letters, and you can even tell its chatbot what's your problem.
It's all in one app, though.
Yeah, which is do not pay.
Do not pay.
Do not pay.
Do you want to pay?
Do not pay for your fines. And, you can actually tell the chatbot what's your problem, and you can be, for example, appealing against a parking fine, just like I said, and it'll actually suggest what it thinks is the best legal language to use. So you basically kind of have, what they say in Arabic, mustashar.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, which is
PA.
translated to, a personal, what's it called? Advice.
Yeah, or advisor.
Advisor.
Now, what's interesting about this is it's all going to be in the palm of your hands. You're not going to have to go and ask for a robot lawyer. All you'll have to do is download the app, Do Not Pay. Many tech giants have been describing it as the world's first robot lawyer. And when it comes to legal language, things can get very complex sometimes, very messy, and that's exactly why a 24-year-old tech enthusiast has decided to create this company and to create this little bit of a chatbot so that he can help out people who want to apply for lawsuits but don't want to necessarily pay an arm and a leg for that lawyer to help them with their lawsuit.
Yeah.
Looking back at his story and why he decided to create this chatbot, he was a teenager living in London. He was a horrible driver.
London boy.
He says, and he got a lot of expensive parking tickets. He was only in secondary school. He could not afford to fight for his rights, and that's exactly why he decided to immerse himself in lots of research to create one of the best ways to fight for these parking tickets. Because he says, if you know the right things to say, you can save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money. That couldn't be more true. So rather than just copying and pasting the same documents every single time, the chatbot in the application Do Not Pay can basically be the perfect job for this software. He'll be able to draft for you any legal letter in no time. And a lot of people have actually been paying on the app, signing up for it. They have about 150,000 paying subscribers, and a lot of people have actually been pretty impressed with their legal advice.
I'm pretty impressed. I never thought that one day I would be taking advice from a robot or chatbot and it would be a lawyer. Parking fines are a big issue, and a lot of people say that, they don't deserve it. But, now you might not have to go through that hassle anymore because a robot lawyer will take care of you.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.